Yo, what is going on, Steeler Nation? We are back again with another episode of the Steel Factory podcast. I'm joined by these fine gentlemen again today. How are you guys doing?
I'm
Good,
doing
good,
good,
good.
man.
Feeling good, feel all right. And this is going to be our free agency recap episode. We are about a week and a half into free agency. The second half has been a little bit quiet compared to the first week. And we're going to go through really quick and list all of our signings so far. And we'll go in depth as we go along with how we feel personally about each of these signings. The headline of this list, of course, Mitchell Trubisky. We did our own episode dedicated to that, like the day after the signing became official. We have James Daniels, a guard. I believe he was from the Bears, right?
Yeah,
And then Mason Cole, a center from the
the
Vikings, I believe.
Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vikings.
Levi Wallace from the Bills, a cornerback. Miles Jack, which was honestly, personally, my favorite linebacker from the Jaguars. I think I said that. And then Gunnar Olszewski from the Patriots, a return specialist, maybe a slot receiver. We'll see where we kind of, hope to put him. And then we have a couple key re-signings. Chuck Okorofor. This might be the one that really has the fans on the fence about. Akella Witherspoon, one that I was really hoping would happen. And then Montravius Adams, a defensive tackle. That was more of a depth guy last year, but I really feel like he has a high ceiling. Anyways, guys, how are we feeling on each of these guys and overall this first week?
I think they're all just solid signings. Nothing crazy. Just like everything that we needed, we got pretty much so far, except for strong safety.
Yeah.
Everything's just solid so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's no one that's disappointing and there's no one that's like incredible.
Right.
Like, I mean, the only thing incredible was like signing Mitch, but that's incredible not because he's like a great player, but just more of like the implications, right?
Right.
Yeah, everyone else is like, okay, this is a solid guy. Like, I mean, I remember in our episode, pre-free agency where we were really gassed up about like signing like a star lineman or something.
Yeah.
But really, what ended up happening is we just got a couple of solid
We
guys, and no
got
one really like.
guys at the right price. I don't know if it's the right price, but at a cheap price. Um not too long of contracts. We'll see how we fit the O line. That was like the main question mark heading into free agency or in the offseason, what we needed to work on. But overall, as a whole, this is it's satisfying to see us making moves. This is probably the offseason where we've had the most cap room. So yeah, it's good to see us busy. Gives us content to make, and we're gonna start off with a couple interview clips from some of our newest members of the Steelers. Starting with a clip from Mitch Trubisky. So if you guys are ready, we'll get that queued up here, and we'll go along with it. Starting with Mitch. You guys good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they didn't really have to make a pitch to me or sell me on anything. This is where I wanted to be. I wanted to play for Coach Tomlin, be a part of the rich Pittsburgh Steelers history and contribute to that. And when I had the opportunity to come here, my goal throughout free agency was find a way to get back onto the field and go into a situation where I could earn a starting job and use my talents on the field. So when the opportunity arose to play for Coach Tomlin and wear the Pittsburgh Steelers uniform, I was so excited, and now I'm here and just ready to roll and get to it.
All right. Off the bat, how are we feeling about Mitch? Just from his first, press conference under the Steelers, initial reactions. I think
He's a
happened?
really
Yeah,
likable
it was
guy.
just,
Like you like him already just by watching him for a little bit.
right.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna
yeah.
get along well with the guys in the locker room.
He just seems like he seems just really motivated to like start. Like he
Right.
wants to like really get back out there and like yeah, just show that like hey, like I'm still like a good solid quarterback. Right? He seems really eager to just be in a good situation for the first time.
We kind of
Like he
had
can.
a impression of Mason Rudolph at his end of the year interview press conference compared to that little clip of Mason compared to this little clip of Trubisky. How are we feeling? I know we both all around we rather see Mitch on the field just because it'll be a lot more exciting and interesting to see. But overall, as a human being, as a player, member of the Steelers, how are we feeling comparing the two?
I mean, Mitch like just has a way less punchable face. Like,
A lot less.
like, like you look at Mitch, he's like, oh, it looks like a good guy, you know. But then you look at at Mason, it's like fuck, like this guy looks like a dick. And I've had enough of that at my quarterback, you know. So I'm excited about Mitch. I'll
Yeah,
take that.
I mean, I there was this Rich Eisen. I think Chewy sent the link to the Rich Eisen interview with Mason, and I kind of scrolled through the comments while the video played in the background, and I just saw like the funniest comment. It was like he has the face of a typical movie quarterback jock. You know what I mean? Like this guy
Mm.
should be playing quarterbacks in all these different football movies instead of being on the field. I mean, I don't want to disrespect, but that's just how it seems like from Mason, you know? Um, we'll see as training camp comes along and the preseason where we're at in terms of depth. I know we still have the draft, which we'll get into in another episode. Really interested to see what we do in the draft, especially because how busy we've been at pro days for quarterbacks. But next up we have a Miles Jack clip. If you guys have that queued up, we'll get into that.
I just wanted to say really fast, like I
Whatever.
think that comment's fucking like spot on. He like Rudolph looks like a guy you make in Madden, like a creative player, like
Yeah, like a generic character.
or like someone you draft in like the 2030 draft of your like Madden run or whatever.
like you're going through like the franchise mode and you're just simming along all the way to like 2027 and you just have the fucking just random generated players.
Oh, Mason Rudolph, nice.
All right, we ready?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, it was just today is Friday or Thursday. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind, so I'm sorry. Tuesday I get released. Tuesday night, my agent is saying, we got a couple offers. We'll see what's going on. Wednesday, they're saying Coach Tomlin, or like the Steelers want to talk to you, and they're very, very interested. So once I got on the phone with Coach Tomlin and got to speak with him, and first thing he said was, we're trying to win a championship, and we need that on defense. So once he said that, it was a no-brainer. That's what I'm here to do, and that's all I really want to do is just get to work and play football. That's it.
That's what you want to hear from a guy that you just signed, right? That got me
Absolutely.
excited. How are you guys feeling?
I feel good. He seems like obviously he had crazy stats on the Jaguars. I
Right.
know a lot of people on Reddit were saying he wasn't anything special. I've never watched Jaguars, right? I've never watched a Jaguars game. I've never seen this guy play. Like he had the most tackles on the team, and that's really all I have to go off of. But I mean, if I feel like I have a lot of trust and faith in Colbert to like do his due diligence on players.
Right.
So if and everyone else that we've signed seems super solid, and I feel like this was just a real like big signing. Like this is what people were most excited about.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest signing, I think. Like the biggest impact we'll probably see this season. I don't really expect that much out of Mitch, but I think Miles Jack could be like a captain for this team.
Right. And just hearing that all Tomlin had to say is we're trying to win a championship and that starts on defense, and that was enough to bring him here. I mean, I hope there's some truth to that, but I'm assuming there is, and that's what gets me excited, and I can't wait to see this guy in the black and gold. And that kind of leads us into our next topic. Who are you most excited about out of all these guys? I mean, I'll go first. It is Miles Jack. Middle linebacker was a big question mark. We didn't like Joe Schobert at all. Devin Bush had it down here. Having Bobby Spillane and as a depth piece, kind of hit or miss. And in this offseason, we're bringing Brian Flores, senior defensive assistant, also like a middle linebackers guy. I'm excited to see what he's going to do with Miles Jack, because Miles Jack on the Jaguars, I mean, I don't know if he's going to be entirely the same player as he was, 2-3 years ago when he was he a Pro Bowler? I'm assuming he was. The guy was like a standout when the Jaguars were making that playoff run. Came into Heinz Field and kicked our ass, picked off Ben on a good play. So yeah, what do you guys think? Who else are you guys excited about?
For me, it's James Daniels. I think that interior line was so bad last year, and I think he's going to be an instant starter.
I can see that.
Could be great for us, honestly. And I don't know if he's going to play center or guard, but I've heard that he's better at center. So that would be great for us. I don't know if Mason Cole will play center, but it doesn't really matter. I think that's the biggest signing for me. Is just working that O line.
I mean, I think I'm just looking at the list and like Levi Wallace seems like a really interesting one. This like everyone said he was a really really solid corner, right?
Right.
Really really solid
Bills had
secondary
a good
corner.
defense too, and he's part of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, the Bills had a great defense, right? And we're also losing Hayden, so I want to see how he fills that gap, and I want to see like how he fits in with our defense and Witherspoon, right?
Witherspoon
Like,
is a good honorable mention on who stands out on this list. I don't know the cap hits of each one of them, but just in the initial reactions of hearing everyone say, like, everyone came in as a good price. And besides their core for one, I don't know if you guys want to get into that. I know Junior was really pissed about, like, why are we paying this guy this much money for to be an average offensive tackle at best? But really, he's the only guy that's gotten the payday here. What do you guys think? I
yeah,
mean, we were talking about our biggest win here. Let's talk about the biggest loss here. And that could come if you think the contract's not good for one of these players or guys we've lost. There's a handful of guys. I think they're all receivers, honestly. We've lost Juju. That's the main headline. James Washington, Ray McLeod, and it seems Joe Hayden's on his way out the door. What are you guys thinking? Who's the biggest loss here?
I want to say it's just as far as like touches go. I want to say McLeod. I think he's gone. He was like he was Ben's like default guy,
Yeah.
right?
I
He
think if
was
Juju was healthy though, it would have been him.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but just like from last year, like it's gonna be weird not having McLeod catch every 2 yard catch.
We got a new corner or not corner, new kick return guy. I'm surprised though you're not saying that a Corofor getting $8 million a year isn't the biggest loss here.
I mean, yeah, I was pretty generous with that. Uh, he's
Not great.
that's not great. I don't think he was good.
You
I
would
don't
have liked us to see us go outside of the team for that one, right? O tackles seems like a crucial part of the O line.
I think the
Interior was the big
Bengals
problem
signed
though.
the Bengals had a good tackle for like 10 million. That's like proven from the Cowboys, and
Right.
we could have, if for like
Yeah.
another million, we could have just paid him,
I don't know.
or at least like try to go after someone. I don't know.
Yeah, I think in our predictions or just side conversations we've had, we was like, all right, we could keep a core for, but I don't expect this guy to start. Like he'd be good as a depth piece, start a few games if a guy goes down. And here he is, he's getting starter money off the rip.
Yeah, he's gonna be the biggest like he, that contract put a huge spotlight on him. Like if he's not performing,
There's
it's
to be
gonna look real
expectations
bad.
too.
Yeah.
I know we've cut also guys like Zach Banner, who you would have wished that money could have went to a guy like who's the guy that went to
Mike
the
Hilton.
Bengals? Mike Hilton. Literally it was the same exact money except Zach Banner played like half the season and only came in on field goals and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far I feel like we've gained more than we've lost. I mean, you have to
It's
take
really
into account too that Ben retired. We're still working on the quarterback position, of course. And but yeah, losing Juju, like how do you guys feel about this, right? This guy got paid pennies to go to the Chiefs. I mean, there's a lot more in the incentives part. But there seemed to be a lot of drama going around that his mom saying the Steelers didn't want him saying he didn't like the offer the Steelers gave us. We kind of had the initial impression that we didn't give him a contract at all. We didn't want him back. That there was a deal in place, that Juju didn't take it. Next thing you know, this guy's going to the Chiefs for like $2 million base salary. What do you guys think? What are the opinions on this? This is a really interesting one, I feel.
I mean, I don't want to say anything about Juju. Just like his whole personality seems too much. like, like, I think we're a real just like no nonsense kind of organization, right?
We're getting rid of
And
that now.
yeah, and like Juju seems to be like, I mean, look at all the controversy that like surrounded his contract and stuff.
And him just
And
leaving, like how much came out of that, right?
yeah,
The whole drama, like, oh,
yeah,
the
I
Steelers
think the
didn't want
Steelers.
me, but at the same time too, they offered a contract, and it's assumed to have been a multi-year deal, but Juju wanting a prove-it deal. but he'd only accept a prove it deal from the Chiefs. I mean, it makes sense to go play for Patrick Mahomes if you have a
Yeah.
prove it deal. But
Yeah.
when you're saying in the middle of the year, oh man, I can't wait to get re-signed for let's do 4 more years, Steelers, and I'm just like, okay. And it seems the
I don't
Steelers
think
did
they
give him
offered him
that multi-year, maybe not 4 years,
I
maybe
don't
2 or 3 years.
I
But
think
was the money not there?
I think what's
I mean
happening is like
it obviously wasn't there if that's only what he got from the Chiefs is what, 3 million.
Right.
I think what's happening is like wide receiver might be becoming one of those positions where like if you're good, you get like ridiculous amounts of money, but like if you're okay, you're not seeing much at all.
And that's another thing. Like Juju, okay, yeah, it's a prove it deal. 2-3 million a year as a base salary. And then you're seeing the who's the Tyreek Hill on the Chiefs. You thought, okay, Juju Tyreek Hill, that's gonna be a good dual threat. And then Tyreek Hill just fucking leaves, and now Juju's your number one, and Tyreek Hill goes and has like the craziest payday. What is it, like 4 years, 75 million base?
No, I think it's like 120 million.
4 for 120, but
Wow.
it's really 3 for 75.
Wow.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
Right.
I wouldn't pay that.
I mean, it kind of like, hints at how much are we going to pay Deontay? Or are we going to just tell him to kick rocks?
I think we're gonna tell him to kick rocks too.
Right.
I think we're gonna tell
Right.
him
If,
this, but I
if
think
we're going to
gonna-
pay a guy that much, I don't think Deontay's it. I mean, let's be real. Like, the guy's had stats. The guy's played with a washed Big Ben. I hate to say it, but he played with a washed Big Ben. The stats are okay, not, all pro numbers, and the drops, man, the drops killed us down the line, last season and this past season. And is this going to be a reoccurring thing with him? Like,
Deontay has never had like a game that I feel comes out of great wide receivers where he like that Deontay fucking dominated. this game.
we've seen the last 10 years a great amount of good receivers. You've even seen like Juju take over games. Juju's made some plays.
Juju had a lot of those games.
We saw
he
AB for 6 fucking years at minimum just completely take over games. We've saw Santonio Holmes take over in the Super Bowl. Like, just a whole line of guys, even Hines Ward, just take over during this year of Ben, or this era of Ben. And then now Deontay's going to be your number one. I'll take Claypool on the number 2, right? But I feel like if we have a better number 1, I mean, maybe Deontay's going to prove us wrong. I'm hoping he proves us wrong.
This might be it. Who knows? But
He has
I
one
mean,
year,
maybe with,
1 year left on his rookie deal.
maybe with Mitch, he might do it.
Right.
Who knows? But
mean-
Deontay for me has never had a game where it's like, oh wow, Deontay absolutely like blew up.
And
Like,
I salute him making the Pro Bowl this past year. I mean, it was because guys dropped out. But we need to see him take another step. I thought the step he was going to take this past year would be bigger than the step he did actually take. I mean, he did progress. But, the drops down the line towards this last month of the season and in the playoff game just really hurt us. And now receiver is probably the biggest question mark now because we didn't re-sign any of these guys. Did I want us to re-sign any of these guys? Maybe
No.
one of the 3. Juju. I feel like Juju would have been a really good security blanket for any new QB we could have had, especially in the slot. But now we're down 3 receivers. The only receivers I can know off the top of my head on our team are Claypool and Deontay. And now, are we going to draft a receiver? Are there still receivers available in free agency? This is our next topic. How are you guys feeling?
Are there still receivers available in free agency?
Jarvis
no idea.
Landry, OBJ.
OBJ's gonna be out for the majority of the year, right?
That's
I
true.
mean, Jarvis Landry might be. I don't know. I haven't watched him play. Is he still good? I remember on the Dolphins a few years ago.
Brown,
he was
the
like, a
Dolphins, he was
machine.
explosive, and then the last 3
racking up
years
catches.
he had Baker throwing to him.
I mean, I think this is like a super heavy wide receiver draft, right? Like this is a really great draft for wide
Yeah,
receivers.
there's like a lot of really great wide receivers in the first 2
Right,
rounds.
right.
I think exactly. I think we're gonna do what we've always done: is take a wide receiver in the second, and he'll just end up being the best wide receiver.
I see us, in the 5th round, getting a guy, and then he just takes over. I don't know. Will we most likely see us drafting multiple receivers in this draft? Hell yeah.
I could see one. In
I'd
the
be
second,
shocked
one in
if
the
he didn't
fifth.
draft at least 2. And I'd also be
Yeah.
shocked if we don't at least get one in free agency because, you want to see a veteran, especially for a guy like Deontay, whose the jobs could be getting to his head. You need a guy to be there. He doesn't have a veteran QB anymore in Ben to help him keep his head on straight. And a guy like Claypool, you know, he has as many issues as Juju. I mean, definitely think
I
a
mean,
little bit overhated, but you know that fucking thing against the Vikings, you can't.
Claypool's issues
We
are
gotta
way more
stop that
like
shit.
You could fix
his,
him.
yeah, his issues are way more like football IQ, maybe just IQ in
Route
general.
running,
But yeah,
yeah,
he's obviously like super athletic, like super talented, but just kind of like boneheaded.
right.
Yeah, so that can be fixed.
I think that covers the offense side of the ball. Now, the main question here, you know, we filled in all the gaps. You know, we've signed a couple of linemen. You expected some key moves in the drafts. You know, we got a new quarterback. We've kind of patched up our issues at middle linebacker, Miles Jack, or at least I hope so. We haven't re-signed Terrell Edmonds. I thought we were gonna get him at a good price, you know, just to pair with Minka, but we haven't still. And there's a whole, I know Steelers Twitter's all hyped about, oh, let's get Honey Badger. Today's the day we sign Honey Badger. What would you rather see us do? Keep Edmonds, I'm assuming at a fair price, or splurge a little bit on TYRANN Mathieu, who, you know, maybe getting, you know, a little older. I think he's gonna be 30 by the time of the season. What do you guys think?
I think I'd rather just go with Edmonds.
Hot take? Is that a hot take?
Yeah.
I think that's the best take though. I mean, you've already
Yeah.
paired Edmonds and Minka before.
I feel like if Edmonds was a second round pick, people would be like, "Oh my God, we have to keep this
Yeah.
guy."
Right. But he was a
Like
first
it's
rounder.
yeah, it's the first rounder that like you expect
A lot
like
more.
like you expect like almost like star potential, right? Um, I think the thing is too, just like something scary about it is Edmonds took off everything related to Steelers from his Twitter
I saw
bio,
that.
like everything, or like I don't think he follows them anymore either. I think he's kind of done. So
And
I
that just
mean,
goes to show, like, if you're Edmonds, they haven't re-signed me yet because they probably want someone more, right? And
And
if
no
it
one's
is
really offered
Tyrann
him anything
Mathieu,
either. If someone offered him what he wanted, he would have taken it by now.
and
I
we
don't
would
think
have been
anyone's.
pressured to probably get Matthew. I mean, I don't know how deep this class is for the draft and safeties.
No idea.
But and then you also don't know how well Matthew and Minka would play together. I mean, I don't know if they play too similarly at the safety position. I'm assuming there's a lot of just like a lot of just knowing how to play with each other just comes in hand with that. Almost, you know, I don't know.
I think signing an all pro safety, they would figure it out.
2 all pros.
I don't know if you really need to invest that much
That's
in
what I'm saying
safety.
too, especially when you have a guy like Minka that makes those plays. Do you need another one? Or maybe even then, like, you know, Matthew's getting older, he wouldn't have to do as much because he has Minka. Maybe he rely on Minka a lot more. I don't know. I'm interested to see what we do at the safety position. You know, defense is gonna be what's gonna have to carry us this next year. We
Who's
don't
our
know.
number one corner right now?
Akello
Probably
Witherspoon,
Witherspoon or
Witherspoon?
Wallace. I'm
Witherspoon or
guessing
Wallace.
Sutton's gonna play the slot this
I would
year.
have liked us to go after some bigger names. Um, just because we got Joe Burrow in our division, you got a crazy amount of good ass QBs in the AFC.
Like
I think our
You got
slowest thought
Devontae
is like
Adams and the Raiders now. You have Tyreek Hill on the Dolphins.
Dolphins. For example,
We're playing Tyreek in Miami this year.
how much would you pay me? I mean, Tyrann Mathieu, like a year.
I
What's his
don't
market?
that's something I couldn't figure out. I don't know what the market is
Because
for
I
a
was looking
safety.
at like 14 or 15 million. I was thinking I'd rather go and get a legit corner
With
yeah,
that,
for
same.
yeah,
that
yeah,
price.
yeah.
Also like why not? We're gonna have to pay Minka soon anyway.
I
Yeah, like
Minka's expecting the extension this year, this
yeah,
offseason,
he's gonna get the
similarly to
extension this year.
to not DJ
To
last
Watt,
year.
yeah.
We'll
Like I'd
see what
rather invest in
happens.
like I'd rather have one great corner and one great safety than just two great safeties.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's gonna wrap it up. A really good discussion. We're really productive in this one. I like what we've done so far. Still a lot of things to do to be done. It wasn't gonna be this easy this offseason with how much we'd have to rebuild. The draft is about a month away now. Still working on the mock draft, I think we are. And I'm excited. We'll be giving you guys some more coverage as soon as more moves are made. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, like, helps us out a lot. And we'll see you guys later. Peace out. Any closing comments, by the way?
Nope.
Team looks solid. This team looks better.
Yes, sir.